So good morning all. In this video we are going to see about JavaScript array. So the overview of this PPT contains the declaration of the array, accessing elements of an array, converting an array to a string, looping concept, as well as adding new elements to JavaScript array. So what is JavaScript array? So it is a single variable where we can store different data types. Okay, so the elements of different data types will be stored in a single variable is known as arrays, right? So normally the JavaScript arrays are zero indexed, right? So it is the first element will be starting with zero indexed, right? So arrays are not associative in nature. So arrays are used when we have a list of items. So when we have more than one item, we can use array there. So it does not be of same data type. So that is the use of an array. So we are accessing the values inside the array by means of index numbers. So here in this page we are going to see about the declaration of an array, how we are going to declare an array. So in multiple ways we can declare an array. So creating an array using an array literal is been shown here. You can see here let is been used, and in version JavaScript ES6 we are using let constant as well as a variable, right? So let array name is equal to value 1, value 2, etc. So this is the syntax for creating an array. So what is the name of the array? Array name is the name of the array. So how we are going to initialize an array, right? So you can see here the name of the array is courses here, right? So I have included 4 different elements. Okay, so 4 string, okay, 4 words inside an array. So the words are HTML, CSS, JavaScript as well as React, right? So when I want to print the value inside an array, I am using the output printing statement called as what? Console.log of array name. So what is the array name here? Courses is the array name. So when I am using courses as the array name, the output will be printed as HTML, CSS, JavaScript as well as React. You can see the difference between the declaration and the output here, right? So this is how we are going to declare an array. So now you are going to see about the creation of array by means of the keyword called as new. So new keyword is not used for creating an array, but it will create the instance of an object, right? So this will create, the keyword will create the instance of an object, right? So you can see here how I am going to initialize, okay, while declaring, right? So I am going to initialize while declaring here, right? So you know the difference between initialization and declaration. I am giving value to the array, okay, and that is known as what? Initialization. So you can see the declaration let ARR1. So what is ARR1? So this is the array name is equal to new array of 3, right? So 3 elements can be inserted inside the array. So you can see here 3 elements are inserted, right? So index 0 contains 10, index 1 contains 20 and index 2 contains 30. So now what I am going to do, I want to print the value. So in order to print the output, I am using console.log array1. So this is the string which is going to be displayed. ARR1. So what is ARR1? So this is ARR1 is the name of the array. So you are getting the output as 10, 20 and 30. So how 10, 20 and 30 is been displayed here? Because I have initialized ARR0 as 10, 1 as 20 and 2 as 30. Now, okay, so that is why the output is 10, 20 and 30. Now you can see here let ARR2 is equal to, I am declaring all the values inside the array. So you can see here I am declaring ARR array is as 3 elements, but I am initializing each and every indexes by 10, 20 and 30 separately. Okay, I can initialize like this also. In this method I can initialize. So you can see here 10, 20, 30, 40 and 50 are the 5 elements that I am inserting, okay, or initializing in array ARR2, right? So while printing ARR2, the output will be 10, 20, 30, 40 and 50, right? You can see in the next example, creating an array of 5 undefined elements. So the element is undefined. So I am not going to initialize any value inside the array, right? So you can see ARR is equal to new array of 5. So this will give the output as 5 empty elements. So I am not declaring or I am not initializing anything inside ARR3. So the output will be, if I am printing the output will be what? Empty elements, right? So the value 5 is been displayed there, right? So you can see here, let ARR4 is equal to, that means array 4 is equal to new array of 1 BHK, right? So 1 BHK is the string and I am going to display the string. Okay, so if I want to display 1 BHK, okay, what I have to do? I have to write console.log array 4 is equal to, okay, array 4 is equal to ARR4 because ARR4. So I am initializing ARR4 is equal to 1 BHK. So if I am using ARR4, I will be getting the output as 1 BHK, right? So how we are going to access the element inside an array? So we can access the element inside the array by means of the index numbers, right? So you know the index number 0, 1, 2. So these are the index numbers, okay, for each and every element present inside the array. You can see here, 0th element is 10, first element is 20 and second element is 30. So what is index? 0, 1 and 2 are the index values and 10, 20 and 30 are the value here, right? So you can see the example, constant courses is equal to HTML, CSS and JavaScript. So if I want to print HTML, I have to use courses of 0. If I want to print JavaScript, you have to use what? Courses of 2. If you want to print CSS, you have to write console.log courses of 1. So how courses is allocated? Because the name of the array is what? Courses. Okay. So this is how you are going to access the element of an array. So now in this slide we are going to see how to change the element from a predefined array. Okay, so the array is predefined. You can see here in the first line I am using HTML, CSS as well as JavaScript, right? So the name of the array is what? Courses. So when you are printing console.log courses, you will be getting the output HTML, CSS as well as JavaScript. Now what I am going to do? I am going to change the element from a predefined array. So this is the predefined array where I am going to change a value. So in order to change a value inside the predefined array, we have to use the index value, right? So what is the index value? Courses of 1 is equal to geeks for geeks. Okay, so courses of 1 is equal to what? Geeks for geeks. So already what is present in courses of 1, you can see here, CSS is present inside courses. So after using this line, okay, courses of 1 is equal to geeks for geeks, and when I am printing courses by means of console.log, you will get the output as HTML, comma, geeks for geeks, comma, JavaScript, because I am going to change the element from a predefined array. So this is how it is going to work here. So in the next slide, we are going to see about how to convert an array to string. So in order to convert an array to a string, I am using an inbuilt function called as toStringOf in JavaScript. So JavaScript contains toStringOf function. This is used to convert the array to a string. So you can see here the array elements are HTML, CSS as well as JavaScript. So in order to convert these array elements into string, I am using courses.toStringOf. Okay, so when I am using toStringOf method here, the output will be HTML, CSS and JavaScript, and this is converted into string. So what is converted? The array is converted into string here. So you can see here there is no braces, right? So there is no square bracket when the output is displayed, right? Fine. So in order to increase and decrease the length of the array, we can increase the length as well as decrease the length of an array. So you can see here I have declared 3 elements inside the array called as courses. So in order to increase the length, I am using courses.length is equal to 5, right? So courses.log array increased length. Okay, so increased length comma courses. So when you are using this print statement, okay, so courses is equal to 5, right? So already there is 3 elements, so 2 elements will be empty because it is not declared, but the length is increased to what? 5. So when I am using length is equal to 2, so this will be what? Trimmed, right? So you can see here HTML, CSS and JavaScript, there will be what? 3 spaces. So now I am allocating courses as 5. So after trimming, so after decreasing, so you can see here there is only 2 elements inside the array. HTML and CSS will be only available. So the length of the array is decreased, right? So in the next example, you can see here, I am going to update an array after initialization. So length is equal to 5, and when I am going to use what? Courses, I will be getting the output as what? HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and 2 elements are empty. Now in the third element, okay, so you can see here 0, 1 and 2. The third element and the fourth element is free space, right? Empty spaces. So I am going to update the value. Okay, update an array after initialization. So this is initialization and I am going to update. How we can update? You can see here courses of 3 is equal to PHP. So what is the fourth element in an array? Okay, so 1, 2, 3. What is the fourth element? Fourth element will be PHP and the fifth element will be React, and the index value is 3 as well as 4. So this can be achieved by, or updating an array can be achieved by this method, right? So you can see a program here. So in this program I am using array as well as a looping concept. So in order to use the looping concept, I am using for loop here, right? So let I is equal to 0, I less than courses dot length, I plus plus. So now what I am going to do, I am going to print each and every value inside the array, right? So I am getting I value as what? Courses dot length. So what is the length of an array? 3 is the length of the array, right? So for each and every iteration, I will be getting the output as HTML, CSS as well as JavaScript. So this is how it is going to work, right? So in the second example, you can see here constant courses is equal to HTML, CSS as well as JavaScript. Courses for each method is being used here, right? In the first example, you are using for loop. In the second example, you are using what? For each statement of my function, right? So in this for each statement, each and every element will be taken. Okay, it is automatically incremented and each and every element will be taken from the array called as courses, and the output will be printed here, right? So in this slide, we are going to use the method called as push of method, right? So I can even use the method called as push. So this push is used to push an element inside the array. Inside the, it is just like appending method where I am going to add React. Okay, so React is the string that I am going to push inside the array. So this will be pushing at the end of the array. So this is how the push method is going to work in array. So in this slide, so we are going to add a new element to JavaScript array using the length property. Right? By means of length property, you are going to add an element, right? So the original array is displayed with the help of array name courses, and the output will be HTML, CSS as well as what? JavaScript. In the next line, you can see here courses dot length is equal to React. So it will be getting the length of the array, right? So courses of length, so the total length is 3, right? So courses of 3 is equal to React. In the third index position, I am going to add the string called as React. So the output will be what? HTML, CSS, JavaScript as well as React. Okay, so this is how this program is going to work. That's all for this video. Thank you.